Sudbury News Talk.
I want to show you something.
Stand by. On the morning shift.
Anything
could happen.
Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.
Wow, that's interesting. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift. I'm AJ Walsh. Glad to be with you here today on Wednesday, August the 10th. CKLU 96.7 FM in Greater Sudbury. Happy to be with you and happy that you are with us. You can listen to us live on the radio each and every morning between 7:30 and 8:30 a.m. You can also catch us online, cklu.ca. Just click on that Radio Player Canada app logo, and you can listen to us through that on the internet. Also, you can download that app, listen to us anytime, anywhere on your favorite device. Also, go to cklu.ca to click that donate button to support CKLU, a great community service that we offer. The city's been around since 1984, and it's been going ever since. Now it's operating on a shoestring budget and basically mostly volunteer. So that's something you could also do to support the station is to email gm@cklu.ca with your idea for a show. And you can also support us by giving of your time and your talents, not only hosting a show, but if you have technical abilities behind the scenes, you could also volunteer and help out the station in that way. Now, according as this show goes, you can catch us on Facebook Live, facebook.com/Sudbury News, YouTube Live at youtube.com/Sudbury News. We had a bit of a glitch yesterday on the show. We had about half a show. The reason being, the switcher we use, basically, does all the video work for us, is on an iPad, and the iPad, the storage was full, so it automatically records the shows to the iPad as well. So I apologize for anyone who was watching yesterday, and then halfway through the show, basically it froze. And so my apologies for that. But, in my defense, the iPad shouldn't tell you 1, minute before it's about to, oh, your memory's, up, your video's going to end. It should have said, you have an hour's worth left or something, some kind of warning. But anyways, so that's what happened yesterday, and that's that. But what's happening today is pretty exciting. Lots of news going on. And we have in the hot seat with us Anik Gervais.
Hello.
She's here.
Hi. You know what? I noticed your show yesterday because I went on at 7:30 and I was like, wait, they're not live. What's going on?
Were we frozen at that point, or was just like a thumbnail or something?
Yeah, it was just a thumbnail.
Oh, darn. Anyways.
Well, it was like the ending of your show. And I was like, this is interesting. Usually would be going on.
I know. And that's, it was just one of those things because every day something different happens. And it's funny, the intro of the show says anything can happen. And that's kind of like, it was prophetic, making that intro to the show. I didn't know how prophetic it was going to be because every single day, something different, weird comes out of the blue. Now this morning, I come in the studio and the iPad's on the floor and all of this stuff that I have
in front
here just fell and everything fell with it. So this was all over there. I'm like, something's going on. And I noticed the mixer in front of us was off.
It's like there was an animal in here.
That's what it seemed like, but it wasn't because I was messing with it yesterday when we were doing all our stuff. I was tightening it and somehow it must have come loose. It's my fault.
Speaking of animals, I have chickens and I was coming back from putting my chickens in the coop and I was introduced by a bear. A bear was right in front of me, walking towards me. I'm like, whoa. And I would be the idiot, like, whatever happened to Anik? Oh, she got too close to a bear. So instead of going in my house, I went on the deck and I just was so fascinated by this bear.
So you watched it from your deck?
Yeah. And then if it ever got closer, I was planning on going on top of my deck and going, roar,
Just jump out at it and, jump up and down and make a bunch of noise?
Yeah, exactly. But the bear didn't have any food and we have like a mass text of the road that I'm on. Like it's called the Roy Ave Gang. So I let them know. And the bear was like kind of being aggressive in my neighbor's backyard.
Really?
Yeah.
Aggressive in what way?
Well, like coming towards the humans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She was hungry. She had 2 cubs.
Were the cubs with her?
It looks like they were with her, but not with me. They weren't with me.
Interesting. Wow. Yeah. And when a bear has the cubs,
watch out.
Mama bears.
So here, I didn't think she was a mama bear. And I was just like, hey, you look so fluffy.
Yeah.
Let's be friends. But she's like, I'm going to eat you.
Yeah. No, really, eh? Ouch. Now, black bears per se, but at the same time, if it's has the cubs with them, you don't want to mess around. So I would just say black bears, by and large, you don't have to worry too much. There's not like grizzlies or anything. But yeah, no. I don't know if you ever seen the movie called The Grizzly Man, I think it was called.
Yeah.
You did see that?
Yeah. Doesn't he die at the end?
Well, spoiler alert. Well, they actually begin the documentary like that, talking of him in the past tense. So you kind of get the sense right off the bat when you're watching the documentary. It doesn't end well.
Oh, right.
But anyways, yeah, he lives with grizzly bears for 15 years or something like that. And he totally gets way too close to them and whatever. Yeah, it doesn't end well for him.
Nope.
But he did say if he was to go, that would be the way, he would go probably. He kind of predicted his own future.
It's true. Let's predict the weather, Aaron.
You know what? You beat me to the segue. I was just about to say that. But anyways, weather coming up right now. So as Nick so poignantly, eloquently segued us into the weather, 13 degrees, sunny, 96% humidity out there. So it is still a bit on the humid side, but 13 degrees, can't complain. It's about the perfect weather for a morning. Today, sunny in the morning, but then early this afternoon, a mix of sun and cloud, and the 40% chance of showers. Wow. Okay. Didn't see that one coming. And on top of that, a risk of thunderstorm late this afternoon. The wind will be gusting up to 40 coming from the southwest. High of 25, humidex 29. Other than that, chance of showers and thunderstorm thing caught me a little bit off guard. But anyways, that's what we're going to have today. And then tonight, partly cloudy, 40% chance of showers. This evening, risk of thunderstorm again. And the low will be 12 tonight. And then Thursday, a mix of sun and cloud, clearing late in the afternoon. The wind will be north, 20 kilometers, gusting to 40. High of 22, UV index will be 6 or high. And then our long range is, we said, tomorrow mix of sun and cloud, 22. Friday will be sunny. And then Saturday says, for now, cloudy and high of 22. And then Sunday mix of sun and cloud, 22. So anyways, I think we're going to get a mixed bag and chance of showers here and there. Can't complain. We still have some summer, nice weather, mostly sunny. We'll be back right after this. All right. And as usual, we got lots of news that's been happening around here. Mm-hmm. News just kind of seems to go on every day. And there's always new news.
New news.
New news. Instead of saying latest news, that's what we're going to have to say from now on. The new news of today.
The new normal. The new news.
The new news.
The new.
News like you've never heard before because it's never happened until now. So yeah. Going to get the comment section up and running here because it looks like we already have quite a bit of comments going on.
Just people saying hi.
Well, okay. Hey, everyone. And usually when we have a Nick on, we have a few others joining us, which is, we're very grateful for you watching and for Nick coming on the show and spreading the news, so to speak, because she has quite a few followers and she has her own show as well, right? The Nick Show.
The Nick Show. I'm super consistent with it.
Yeah. So if you want to catch a Nick doing the Nick Show, yeah, I guess you'll just have to stay tuned, and on your Facebook it just pops up whenever you're doing it. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
It's not scheduled, right?
No, it's not scheduled.
You don't have like every Saturday or every.
No.
Okay.
I should. Right after I do this show, I should go do the Nick Show.
Oh, you know what?
But we love when people share. So share this news. If you like what you're watching here, it's all local, uncensored. Share it away. Tag your people. It's fun. And if ever you have local news that's maybe not on the news that you'd want to share, I'm sure we'd love to share some of that. Or an event that's happening.
News, anything you have that's newsworthy that you think, the community would also benefit from, right?
Yeah, like good news. Like I'm going to be having a yard sale, so I'll be telling everyone about my yard sale happening on Roy Ave because I'm going to get the whole road to do the yard sale that same day. I think it's going to be the Sunday before school starts.
That is really smart. Coppercliff, we lived in Coppercliff, and that's what they did every year. They had the Coppercliff yard sale day.
Right.
And you were smart if you actually did your yard sale on that day.
Yeah.
And if you didn't, you weren't smart because...
You're missing out on a lot of people.
Yeah, because you're drawing people by multiple people having their yard sale on the same day. And you guys are smart on your street. You do a lot of things
together.
And you have that group kind of thing.
Chat
And
so
everything.
Fun.
So cool.
Yep.
I think every street or every neighborhood should have something like that. That's what I thought was going to happen with social media more than what's happened. I thought it was going to do more of that kind of thing. I think to some extent it did. I think, you have your Valley group and you have a Chelmsford group.
But do people really get to know each other?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. Actually, I'll take that back because during this whole, lockdown things, when people had similar views, I started making a lot of online friends. Mm-hmm. And like legit people that I consider my friends.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I ended up meeting in person and be like, dude, you're my friend, but we're online friends. It's kind of cool that it kind of reconnects people. But it's kind of sad that most people don't know their neighbors because sometimes I even agree you don't really want to get too close to your neighbors sometimes.
Well, that's the thing too, eh? You want to keep a healthy, distance. I don't know, some boundaries, I guess, is what. It's almost like, your neighbors have fences and things like that. We kind of, in our lives, kind of have to have something similar like that where we can say, hey, we can look over the fence and
be like, bye.
That's right. Like, wait a minute, they're still here in my house.
Yeah.
Time for bed. It's getting late, but no, you definitely want something like that.
Yep.
So I'm just trying to go through everybody, kind of everyone's shout outs here. You got, you are a beautiful soul, Lynette, and I think you saw that one.
Nope, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
And Lise, good morning as usual. So Lise is with us each and every morning, always cheerfully saying good morning to us at the beginning of the show. So we're grateful for all of those who are with us each and every day and those who are new to joining us today. Thanks for being here. We got lots of stuff to look at and some stuff that might be important to you as well. And hopefully it will be. So speaking of that, let's look at this first story off the Facebook feed. Ontario now providing a reminder email for your photo ID card. So this is something they're introducing new. I thought it was like, the new digital ID is out. And I kind of just skimmed it and I thought, here it is now. But it's not.
It's not.
It's just a reminder to us that you need to renew your card. You ever do that? I have a friend who's part of the show who went to rent a vehicle this weekend and gave his license, and they said, you can't rent the vehicle. He's like, well, why? He says, because your license is
expired,
like a year overdue.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So he's been driving around for like a year.
So they're sending us an email.
An email saying, and you can register for that. It says new digital reminder.
New digital.
See, that's the thing. I think
reminder.
They're getting us used to the word of digital. And IDs together, digital reminder for your ID.
Yeah. And getting used to getting an email and that it's digital.
Yeah. So everything has to have steps, right? They can't just jump us into the digital ID. It's too weird. So digital reminder for now to get your kind of old school ID where you go into the MTO and get your picture taken and all that fun stuff.
And it's interesting because it expires on your birthday.
Yeah.
So
it is. Well, that should be, are you saying that should be a reminder enough? That's your birthday?
Yeah.
Well, maybe they'll include happy birthday in the email too.
That'd be really nice.
I bet you they won't for some reason. Okay.
All right.
So you get your new digital, you can sign up for that. The registration, they'll remind you either 60 days before or 30 days before. They're giving you an option, right? So you have a choice right now. And the choice is whether you can be reminded 30 days before or 60 days before. You won't have a choice when the digital ID actually comes out in the future.
But I like having the choice.
I like choices too.
What a great word, choice.
I shared a meme on my personal Facebook day today saying that's basically the only thing someone can't take away from you is the choice to choose your attitude in any given circumstance.
Amen.
Like even if you're
in a concentration camp,
in jail, wherever, you can still decide how you react.
how are you going to view it?
Yeah, or how your attitude's going to be.
I was talking to someone actually on Tinder.
Yeah.
Because I'm single, ready to mingle. And and we were just talking about the world, and like one day, we just talked about concentration camps. And like, I'm going to be like Gandhi. If I'm in a concentration camp, I'm going to be positive. I'm going to reunite the people. I'm not going to have any fear. And it's just kind of funny.
Well, it's true. And if you would go back in history and see people that were, and then there's been quite a few or through history, different camps like that, like war prisoner camps, and different wars and different countries had prisoners. And there's stories of how people, were, and there's a little community going on, even though it's not the greatest circumstance. You're all in a concentration camp, for crying out loud. Right. But you still have some kind of order. You have the choice. Yeah. You got the group clown who keeps everybody kind of, you got maybe the intellectual, there's a storyteller who keeps everyone kind of entertained that way. And then you have the ones who kind of say, hey, let's all do this tonight or something if you can.
Yeah, let's all hold hands and kumbaya.
I don't know about that, but yeah.
Maybe let's do 30-second hugs or something. I'd be that girl. Yeah. I'd ring a bell and be like, it's hug time, 30-second hugs.
Yeah, and then I could see some people being really
weirded out about it.
Happy about that, and then some people being...
when you're in a place like that and no one's like touching, they'd probably love a hug.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
All right, moving on.
This is the road closure. There's a collision on Highway 44 in Chelmsford area. So if you are commuting in that neighborhood or that neck of the woods, Highway 144 in Chelmsford, it looks like it's more towards the north of Chelmsford, but I can't be certain. But anyways, there is a crash this morning there. And the highway's closed. And I'm going to be going there because I got to go there to go to work. So hopefully the road is open by that time. I can get to work. Mm-hmm. Greater Sudbury councillors approved transitional housing complex. Now, this is the one where it's gone up from like 10 million to 14 million. Now, here it's saying it's almost 12 million. So I guess when you're talking these types of millions, it could be anything. So it looks like it's about between 10 and 14 million there. So right in the 12 million mark.
For what?
For a new transitional housing complex that's going to go near the LaSalle and Notre Dame intersection. Mm. So
for homeless people?
A proposed 40-unit transitional housing complex help the homeless people with mental health and or addiction issues in Greater Sudbury has been given the green light. Now, I hope I'm talking about the same complex. So Tuesday's Finance and Administration meeting, the committee voted 11-2 that the project go ahead, proposed for a city-owned property, on Lorraine Street in New Sudbury. So, if you're coming in from the valley, the intersection of LaSalle and Notre Dame, right to your right, there's some complexes already there. That's kind of like right around where it's going to go. As soon as you pass.
It's like more housing?
More housing, yeah.
All right.
And we need it.
Yeah, you're right.
40 units, more than needed. So it's saying it's going to be about $12 million.
Cool.
The city will take $6 million from its social housing capital reserve for the project, and then it'll be constructed under the Canada Mortgaging and Housing Corporation's Rapid Housing Project. So it looks like, obviously, like anything happens, there's the federal money that comes in, the provincial money comes in, the municipal money, and then you do something.
I just wish, this is great, you're building a building. Yeah. But there's no support, there's no love, there's no how to get you off housing. There's none of that. That's what we need in the world, you know? It's but at least we have housing, I guess.
Yeah. And that was the whole discussion we were talking about, that safe injection site downtown. It's kind of like, okay,
cool.
They can inject safely and under supervision, and that's awesome.
But they're actually crying for help. A lot of them are crying for help and would love to get some help.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just,
but that's at least a step in the right direction, right? We do need housing.
Yeah.
It's better to be
we're going to need more housing now with the interest rates going up.
Yeah, you're right. So a lot of people who currently own homes or are renting won't be able to afford, rent or mortgages coming up in the near future. So
that's true.
Lively's Fielding Road. Have you ever gone to Fielding Park?
I have.
You know the park? Do you remember the road there that
was
goes?
horrible.
It's
Horrible.
like you have to drive like 2 miles an hour on it and avoid all the potholes. Well, it's going to get a facelift.
Sorry.
No problem.
Oh, that's good. A facelift. And then how long will the facelift stick?
Yeah. So good question here. Let's see how long it'll take. So it's going to get some love and attention. Oh, maybe that's the end of the thing. City staff to prepare a business case to rebuild the economically critical road and add a water and server lines. So not only make the road better, actually make some infrastructure in there. 2, undertake major rebuild of Fielding Road, home to a sprawling industrial park in Lively. And that is true. There's a lot of businesses like in industrial.
Paying probably big taxes. You know, you'd think they should have a nice road.
Yeah, I would think so too.
Sudbury have the worst roads ever.
So following the approval of a resolution at Tuesday's finance meeting, yesterday was a huge meeting in terms of money in this city. And so a lot of budget things have been, looking at the cost money are kind of, being voted on and moving ahead. So finance administration meeting yesterday, city commissioned employment land strategy ordered 2 years ago from Ward 2 Councillor Michael Vagnini, who we'll be talking about shortly, succeeded getting Fielding Road immediate attention from city staff for its reconstruction, along with the addition of municipal sewer and water services. So it's not a for sure thing. We can sit here and unpack it all day, but when they say maybe in the headline,
yeah,
it's not a for sure thing. But I'm hoping it'll go ahead. Now there's going to be a new council and new mayor possibly coming up in October, the election.
Oh, right.
And I was talking to the general manager of CKLU.
Yeah.
And he said as soon as the registrations are all in for the councillors and for the mayor,
yep,
we're going to be putting out an email with an invitation to all of the people running that they can be interviewed.
Cool.
On this show and other shows on CKLU. So
that's awesome.
We were thinking of a debate, but then we thought, you know what? Yeah, it could get ugly. And a bunch of people just talking at the same time on radio isn't fun to listen to.
No, it's not.
People talking over each other and stuff.
That's true.
And then we only have an hour, and then, we don't do that kind of thing all the time. So an interview is easy. 15 minutes each counselor or candidate gets to say their stuff, and we'll have a nice conversation.
I'm supposed to go for coffee with Dario.
When?
I don't know.
Oh.
This week sometime.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm going to get him on the show.
Well, that's interesting because you just did a segue perfectly without realizing it. So this is, remember the Kingsway Entertainment District got voted down and all that. So here's a proposal. Investors want to build a film studio on that land instead. Or I don't know, maybe it was going to go up along with it anyways. I have no idea. But investors want to build film studio in Greater Sudbury. Proponents say it's the next logical evolution of the film and television industry in Sudbury. A new proposed film studio envisioned for the Kingsway Entertainment District property would generate thousands of new jobs and boost the local economy, council heard yesterday. Again, there's a lot of news coming out of that meeting yesterday.
I love how they called it the Entertainment District.
Well, that's exactly.
I love it. This
Kingsway
is so cool.
Entertainment District. That's right.
Yeah.
So it might have been already a part of the idea of this whole thing, but but we know they don't want to put the arena there. That's for sure now. The Freshwater Production Studios, they want to call it. Facility is expected to span more than 100,000 square feet and cost roughly $35 million to build. And Tammy Frick, who's the head of the Cinefest and all that stuff. See here, just want to make sure I got it correct. Tammy Frick, yep. She's the one that was doing the proposal. She's head of both Cinefest and Cultural Industries Ontario North.
Cool.
Or Scion.
Ooh.
CION.
Interesting.
Yeah. So anyways, that's going to, we'll see if that goes ahead. Instead of a hockey arena, we'll have a film studio.
But you know what's cool is that if they start building all this other stuff, then it might just be a no-brainer to actually bring the
arena
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know it's weird, eh? it'll just happen in the year 2065.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when people start complaining about the parking, how this massive library that is not needed goes in the middle of the parking spot, then maybe.
Yeah, that's the thing. Right now, I guess they're having issues with CKLU with the sound, so I'm not sure. We didn't do anything different here, so we'll just have to continue on for now. Unfortunately, it's these things that just happen for no reason.
Electronics, technology.
Yep, electronics.
Too bad we didn't have a robot to fix everything.
Sure. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a robot. If someone would like to donate a robot to...
I saw some pretty crazy robots doing some pretty crazy things, and man, the Jetsons aren't that far away.
No. We're going to be getting, and hopefully, there's going to be some good and some bad.
Oh, for sure.
From all this technology and AI and stuff like that. I just don't look forward to the glitch. When there's a glitch in the AI and there's a robot and he's serving you.
And he's not happy.
Yeah. And it's not going to be good. You
didn't pay your parking bill.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
you need some oil there for your neck.
Yeah.
Squeak, squeak. Michael Vagnini was in some hot water, right?
Yes.
So remember he made some statements and things to the deputy fire chief. And
vulgar and disrespectful behavior.
Yeah. So anyways, in a 9-3 vote, Greater Sudbury Council docks Michael Vagnini's pay for 40 days.
Aww.
40 days and 40 nights.
Aww.
Supporter of the embattled Ward 2 councillor ejected from council meeting after speaking out from the gallery during debate. Picture of Michael Vagnini.
I'm not really totally sure about the whole story, but I like when people are held accountable. But
yeah,
I wasn't there.
Well, that was a recommendation from the city's integrity commissioner, Robert Swayze, who fielded 3 complaints regarding Ward 2 councillors' behavior earlier this year. One concerned statements Vagnini made that inflated the death toll among the homeless people, according to officials, and implied the city was not doing enough to mitigate the crisis.
That's what he was saying?
So that was one thing. Yeah.
Wow. He's trying to get the city held accountable for what they're doing.
Yeah.
He's just speaking out, maybe. Oh,
he was in hot water for that.
I see the words he's been using. So he says don't play. Yeah, he swore. People, are getting really offended by that, I get. But I guess if you're in a political role, you shouldn't be using swear words. So.
No, exactly. So this particular problem we had today on CKLU was the software we use was just frozen. So yesterday our Facebook froze and today our software froze. So maybe we're being hacked.
We're that important.
Yeah.
Where we're being hacked.
Russian collusion.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry, I interrupted you, but now we at least solved the problem for CKLU. So that's good.
No, he just said some bad words.
And we're talking about Michael Vagnini and what he's done and then, or what he was accused of doing and the outcome from yesterday's meeting. They want to dock him.
He apologized though.
Yeah. But the thing was he apologized, but then he called up the deputy fire chief and said, I apologize now. Can you drop the accusations I originally did? Because he wanted to get some, for a local kind of a local celebrity who had a funeral and he was also a volunteer firefighter, the person who died, and wanted a fire truck on hand at the funeral just to add to it.
Right.
And the fire chief goes, well, we can't do that. It's just not something we do. And he got really upset and he swore at him and all these things.
Oh, wow.
So then he complained to the city's integrity commissioner, the deputy fire chief, and then he apologized to the deputy fire chief for doing that.
Oh.
So then he expected the fire chief to drop the complaint. Right. He said, well, no, I'm not going to drop the complaint. He goes, well, if you knew if you knew it was best for you, you'd drop the kind of thing. I'm paraphrasing.
Right.
But it's in the article what he exactly said. It would be in your best interest or something to accept the apology. Wink, wink.
Oh, wow. Lots of drama.
Yeah. Well, as far as city politics goes, good for the show,
Yes, very.
you know.
Bring it on.
But anyways, so yesterday they voted 9-2 to dock his pay for 40 days. And
There's another really cool article that's happening. This
Okay.
is positive. This is some good news.
we have good news.
There's good news.
Wow.
Greater Sudbury Crime Index drops by 4.3%.
Okay, you went ahead a bit, right? So,
It's after the article from the Vigniti.
okay, I have a Laurentian one.
Oh.
Oh,
I'm
it's-
on Sudbury.com.
Oh, you're on Sudbury.com. Oh, okay. I was going through the headlines here, but that's fine. Sudbury.com has a really interesting story, every day they have this kind of good morning Sudbury. Here's some stories to start your day. And was that what the first one was?
It's the third one.
Okay.
After your Vigniti story.
All right. So what I was doing, I was following the headlines we were sharing on Facebook, and I did say that we're going to be using the Sudbury.com. So that's probably my fault.
That's okay.
So let's see. Okay, good news. The Greater Sudbury crime drops. The severity index drops by 4.3%. So this is some weird. I was hearing like the crime dropped in general lately, but the crimes that are worse kind of went up.
Oh.
So anyways, let's just read it. Last year marked the first time since 2015 Greater Sudbury's overall crime severity index has decreased over 1 year. Although a 4.3% drop in overall crime severity index compared to 2020 and as reported by Statistics Canada appears promising, the context behind it paints a more worrisome picture. See, this is what I was alluding to.
So that's why everyone like just reads the title of the article. I'm like, oh, awesome. Great news.
Great news. No, it's bad.
Yeah. Read the article.
Don't worry. We still have bad news if you read it. There's always bad news to go around.
Yeah. It says that 84.39 Greater Sudbury overall crime severity index is still much higher than it was in 2015.
That's the severity of crimes. That's right. So overall, softer crimes went down, but the brutaler ones, is that even a word?
Awesome.
No.
The violent crime severity index, meanwhile, increased
That's
from
what I was looking for.
112.47 in 2020 to 127.15.
Yeah.
That is a 13% increase overall.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So it's a 13% increase. Now, why do you think those types of crimes would have gone up in the last little while?
Oh, people have no money.
Okay.
You know, people are stressed out.
And what else?
People are living in fear.
Yeah. For sure. And where have they been for the last 2 years?
Stuck in their house.
Exactly.
Isolation.
That's right. So,
And I just watched a video of a scientist talking about how just molecules being isolated go crazy.
yeah.
They just go crazy. Like they can't be isolated.
So if you're looking in a petri dish or whatever, and you're doing an experiment with a microscope,
Yeah.
and you put a bunch of them together, they go nuts.
They go nuts.
Mm,
So
interesting.
we are made out of molecules. We're made out of all that. And we are going nuts. Even if you grab an animal, you put an animal in a cage.
Yeah.
You limit the animal. They
For
go
sure.
crazy. Of course, humans are going to do the same thing. They're
Yeah.
going to go crazy.
Yeah.
And it's just mental health goes to the next level.
Yep.
So if you've had any issues, you've not dealt with, you haven't done any inner work, you're not a happy individual, well, you're going to, once you get let loose, or it's almost like thrill seeking.
Yeah.
You might leave your house and go steal someone's barbecue or stab someone because why not?
So you have all the kids home from school,
Mhm.
and they're on their computers,
Mhm.
and they're not getting out of the house. And so the parents are with the kids, and the parents are now the child's teacher or tutor at home.
Mhm.
They're the ones helping with the math and the English and the whatever. And they're also kind of sitting in a little bit, hearing what their children are learning and going, what? This is what my kids have been learning all these years? And scratching their head and going, what world am I in? And looking at the news and all the fear, like you said, a lot of fear going on. And then I heard a lot of marital problems and things that started during the last 2 years too,
For sure.
because of the same reasons, right? So someone might not have been working as much or lost their job. So there's financial issues. There's always the news talking about the next,
What were we on the 8th wave now?
Yeah,
Or
it's like-
12th or something?
there's tons of waves coming. Be afraid, be very afraid. And then your kids are at home, all these stresses. it's no surprise to me that this type of a crime would be up. Like,
No.
even if you take, what do they call it? Domestic disputes.
Oh, right.
So they're being called to domestic disputes. Is that part of this statistic? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I don't think so.
for a violent crime, or you know what I mean? Like if you hit a member of your family, let's say.
I even heard like you can't even call the police for domestic violence. You have to deal it with yourself.
What? Really?
Well, I heard
Are you sure?
someone called the police and they just don't do nothing,
Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't surprise me because they would probably figure,
Yeah.
deal with it yourself. We're too busy.
So.
Yeah. And it is messy. Like when a police officer comes into a domestic dispute, he said this, she said that, I did that. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my goodness, how do you deal with that? But Miles is saying, interesting to find out Greater Sudbury's population has gone up significantly during the past 2 years. So, and there's a reason for that too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we have a huge immigration push to bring a lot of international people into the city. So I think that accounts for a lot of the population growth. I could be off on that because I don't have the statistics, but I think that's one of the reasons.
Yeah, probably for population.
So we did cover this one, but the next story on the Sudbury, Good Morning Sudbury, I think maybe you want to weigh in on this a little bit because it is part of what we were talking about with the whole
the
school thing, being at home and whatever. Now they're starting to go back. At least they have the option to wear a mask now.
Yeah, I like that. I'm definitely against wearing masks personally and for my daughter, especially because I've noticed my daughter is having like hearing issues actually. Okay. So me and her dad were just like whispering things at her and she wouldn't even hear us. So I was like, oh my gosh, you're not hearing properly. You're probably having hearing issues.
Yeah.
And if you're in school and everyone's having a mask on, mumbling, how is she supposed to learn?
Yeah.
So I'm happy to see this article, but now that the title says masking to remain optional in Ontario, I want to read the article because maybe that's not actually the case, but it's actually saying that
it is.
Ontario students will not be required to wear a mask when they return to classroom, but that's what they're saying right now.
Yeah. Well, again, that could change, right?
It could change.
For now. They're saying you don't have to. Well, that was like, too, the vaccination policy for Laurentian University. They came out and said, yeah, you don't have to be enroll in the next year. That was before they all came out or whatever.
Okay.
You don't have to be vaccinated to go to Laurentian. But then after everybody enrolled, they said, yeah, no, it's mandatory.
See, like how are you
that
allowed
was weird.
To do that?
Yeah. They said it's not mandatory. And then everyone enrolled, paid their money. And then they said, oh yeah, no, it is.
Is that still a policy today?
Well, I think it has been. So I don't know if they've lightened up on that or not.
Because I know now there are now medical exemptions for the vaccine because myocarditis for children is a big problem.
It is.
So now the doctors are now giving medical exemptions where parents were screaming for these exemptions before.
Exactly.
So it's just very interesting. We'll see what happens this fall.
Now, speaking of Laurentian, if we go to the first story that Sudbury.com was covering on their morning kind of segment, unions consider taking Laurentian leadership to court.
Yeah.
Because you have to ask yourself, what's the fallout going to be from the whole bankruptcy thing, right?
Yeah.
Unions representing Laurentian University employees say they're considering launching legal action against Laurentian once LU finally exits insolvency, something that's expected to happen this fall. So Tom Fenks, president of Laurentian University Staff Union, LUSU, said the legal action would be filed regarding what he said was the misuse of retirees. So I don't know if you remember or not. They kind of just fired a bunch of people and let them go saying, we're going bankrupt, so you're gone. Anyway, so that really, I guess, wasn't the right thing to do. They should have went to the government saying, we're having a bit of an issue. What do we do here? And there would have been helps for them, but they didn't. They chose to go bankrupt and let a bunch of people go. Health and Benefit Plan, RHBP, which was worth millions with the hope of recovering damages. Because Laurentian did not establish a separate trust account for the benefit plan contributions, money paid into the fund by LU was, quote unquote, recorded as a liability. when the university declared insolvency. So it was terminated in April 30th, 2021 as part of Laurentian's restructuring. So they're saying, and this is going to start happening, all the things Laurentian did and the way they went bankrupt and how they, I'm not going to say cook the books, but.
Well, I think they should be held accountable for sure. And I like the underdog. You know, I'm always rooting for the underdog. And I find corporations kind of take advantage a lot. And, you know, I expect more of you. You are a university and you have all these intellect. And I expect more of you, and I expect more of your employees, and I expect more of your finance guy, and he should be held accountable, and he shouldn't really have a job right now. Like, your reputation should be ruined. You know, it's funny how one little thing could happen in our life, a little video or something, it goes on Facebook and it ruins someone's reputation, but someone of such high standard, I don't know.
No, you're right. They're influencers in the community. They're, you know, How are you allowed to have this job at the hospital where you're getting paid big bucks and we're having issues at the hospital? There's always issues at the hospital. Anyway, I think this is good, and I'm pro bringing Laurentian to court. And we used to think people more in the public were more accountable because they're in the public, right? When they do things like this, they kind of have to rise to a higher standard, but we're finding the standard doesn't apply to everybody.
No.
And that's the message that's being sent.
Yeah.
And it's being sent to young people too. You know, they're wondering why the crimes are so high in the city and stuff. And think of the examples they're seeing around them. They're seeing all the people that are in powerful positions just getting away with everything. Why would they think they need to abide by any laws?
Yeah. I could think of so many stories that are international that no one's even getting in trouble for anything. Yeah, exactly. And so, we need some accountability. Now, have you ever watched the show Dragon's Den? Yeah.
Dragon's Den alum to speak at Sudbury Conference this fall. A special economic development conference to bring together entrepreneurs and investors is to be held in Sudbury in September, and will feature well-known Canadian entrepreneur and Dragon's Den television personality as a keynote speaker. Now, I do have a picture, so we may not recognize the name, but we may recognize the picture of the person. I'm just going to see if I can get it up, and this is her here. I don't know if you've ever seen her on Dragon's Den or not, but it will be coming this fall, and she'll be here.
I know a couple people that have been on Dragon's Den.
Oh, who? Who do you know? Am I putting you on the spot?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's called, she started Over Gals. I think it's called Cover Gals.
Okay. Cover Gals.
Yeah.
Cool.
She works for a mining company, I think MTI.
Nice.
And she's really successful. She's doing really good.
And her company's doing good now.
Yeah, super good.
Yeah, that's awesome. There's a lot more women getting into the mining industry. I know that for sure. So I think that's a huge part of it.
It was one of the things because women, to go to the bathroom, it was like a one piece.
Yes.
So she has like a spot for women to be able to go to the bathroom.
Right on.
This one little thing.
One little thing. You innovate and you got a whole business idea.
Yeah.
So it looks like, maybe, I don't know, let's see. So the conference will be called Venture North 2022, take place at the Valet Cavern at Science North on the 22nd of September, hosted jointly by the Greater Sudbury Development Corporation and Northern Ontario Angels, which is a investment group of angel investors kind of thing. I heard they've done a lot of good too. They've invested in a lot of companies. So if you got the next idea out there, maybe this is your chance. So they're a pan-northern nonprofit group dedicated to creating partnerships between entrepreneurs and investors. Organizers said the event is something that should not be missed. Anyone interested in creating investment and growing their business. Cool. You can read more about that on Sudbury.com's page. So, and there's a lot of time before that happens. It's like over a month away. So we'll be talking more about that in the future. And they'll probably be contacting a Nick too to be a guest speaker, I'm sure.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Now back to our Facebook page, because there's been a few things there that they're worthy of note. And this is one of them. We talked yesterday about the CRA. They have a bunch of uncashed checks out there.
Oh, from people.
People didn't cash their checks.
I went and checked if I had any uncashed checks. Yeah.
Really?
None. Zero. They're
you don't
all
have it.
Direct deposit.
So this is the way you can find out, apparently. Here's how to see if you have one of the 8.9 million uncashed checks issued by the CRA. So this is a story by Sudbury Star here. So let's see, they have a website. You go on the Canada Revenue Agency's website, log into your account. Looking for some extra cash this summer? You may need to look no further than the Canada Revenue Agency's website. So if you go on there on Monday, that was yesterday, they released that they had approximately 1.4 billion
Whoa.
worth of checks that have gone uncashed over the years as of May 2022. So there are an estimated 8.9 million uncashed checks worth the CRA as of May. So I guess some of them got cashed.
That's cool.
You may wonder, how is this possible?
Oh.
And how do I get my money? What can I do?
People are moving, people die suddenly.
Oh, there's all kinds of reasons, right?
Yeah.
So each year, the CRA issues millions of payments in the form of tax refunds and various government benefits. Most of these payments are issued by direct deposit now, but some are still issued by check. Over time, some of these checks remain uncashed for a variety of reasons, like you just mentioned. And beginning this month, CRA will be starting to notify via email some recipients. Say basically, cash your check.
Email. Sending us an email.
So you may get an email saying, cash your check, or you may get an email saying, renew your driver's license or your health card, right?
Yeah.
So, well, I know.
I should check my emails then. I'm the worst at checking my emails.
Yeah, definitely check everyone out there. Check your email. No
check
matter
your emails.
What. It'll come in handy. You might have a message worth reading. And so just checking who's with us online. And we still have a good number of people with us online. That's awesome. Thanks for hanging in there with us. And hopefully you can. I'm wondering who won that $1 million. Anyways, there was $1 million Lotto 649 ticket that was sold in Sudbury.
Oh.
2 days ago.
Do you play?
Or for this last weekend? I don't play, no.
No. I should.
I should. Well, I mean, that's the only way you can win. I just don't gamble. So I think if I saved up, I know my dad, he's never won and he buys tickets every single week.
Well, I was talking to my mom's boyfriend and he spends, I think it's $100 a month on his ticket. He has the same numbers every year and he's been playing them since like 1970 something. So he spends $1,200 a year on Lotto and he's never, ever won.
Okay.
So for the last 20 years.
So there you go. So what? Then if he would have saved all that money.
That's 20 grand, more than that.
It's like winning the lottery just by not paying the lottery.
But because he plays every single month, I feel like just like giving him some money. So I could just, because eventually I feel like he's going to win. He's going to be one of those guys that's just going to win.
Possibly. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll see.
And I don't even know how fair those lotteries actually are either. So I've heard of people winning multiple times.
Right?
How does that even happen?
I know a friend who was very, very wealthy in the UK and he won. I'm like, how did you win? Like you probably never play and he won like £2 million.
And he's already wealthy to begin with, right?
Super wealthy.
Yeah. Well,
it's just interesting. But you know what? Now he's doing these like men retreats of opening up your heart chakra. And they were like professional rugby players. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool.
That is cool.
That is cool. Like seeing people evolve and change like that, where you were like ego rugby player. And this guy never went to practice and he was the best player. Which is weird in and of itself, right? Yeah. He was always getting in trouble. Oh. I remember that. And then he's completely transformed his life. I would love to hear stories like that in Sudbury. You know, some local people that, you know, that have cool stories that we can support. Definitely. And share. Speaking of cool stories, you're going to appreciate this one. All right. Uncovered artifacts trigger archaeological dig outside Sudbury. Whoa. Archaeological team follows up on historic materials found last year or last fall at the Lively Heritage Farm. Whoa. So here's a picture of them looking through what they're digging up. If you're watching us on Facebook Live or YouTube, on the radio, it's hard to look at it. On the radio. Probably impossible to look at it on the radio. An archaeological assessment was triggered in Sudbury's West and
and last October, when historic materials were uncovered while digging a hole for a concrete footing for stairs. This week, a crew of archaeologists from Archaeological Research Associates, based in Owen Sound, were on site to undertake a preliminary dig at the Anderson Farm Museum property in Lively. Ever been there?
No, I haven't.
They got all kinds of events. They do different things. It's like you can go and see what it's like on a farm, so you can take, and a historic one at that.
Do they have like animals there too?
I don't know.
Oh,
yeah.
Check.
The site probably should have had an archaeological assessment some time ago, but I'm glad it's finally happening. And I'm really interested to see what they turn up and what we can learn as a result, curator Sam Morrell told Sudbury.com. So yeah, we'll have to stay tuned on that, see if they unearth something like, maybe the stuff they were looking for on Oak Island is actually on Anderson Farm.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe they're just getting ready for a new reality show. Call it Under Anderson Farm.
Did they tell us at all what they think it is?
Yeah, you know what? I did read quite extensively, and I don't know if they want to tell us what it is that they thought they found.
Oh.
I'm going through. You would think, if it was something, it would be in the headline, ancient burial ground or, ancient artifacts from this particular people or something, But
I never even knew this place existed.
Yeah.
It's super cute. It's
Anderson Farm, yeah.
Yeah, 14 acres of natural beauty. The Anderson Farm Museum is the perfect location for a Sunday picnic or family gathering.
Yeah, in Lively, yeah. It's right on the main drag in Lively.
Lively's a good place.
Can't miss it. It's very lively.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to keep going with that because it's dad joking, my daughter says too.
Dad joke.
Cease and assist.
Oh, they do have animals.
They do, yes.
Well, I'm going to have to bring Journey there.
For sure.
That is cool.
We have a mutual friend who's been building his farm that you need to take a look at because he's done exceptional
it's true. Just text him right now.
Work on that. And all by himself, and now with a helper, he's done miracles with his farm. Totally created barns, and he's got pigs and goats and chickens and turkeys.
The new thing. People are just like more interested in that, which is so cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Being self-sustained.
Yeah. He didn't wait for permission to do any of that stuff.
And that's what life is all about. Like, you can't ask for permission. You need to go out there. If you have goals, if you have dreams, you got to go out there and just do it.
Yeah.
Just go out there. And it takes effort. This life just takes effort. This word effort has been a word that I've been using a lot.
Yeah.
And just a lot of people are just going through the motions in life.
Yeah.
But if you just put effort in everything, like effort in being positive, effort in your relationship, effort in your job, just that will have a butterfly effect in your whole life.
Everything in your life, you put effort into it and you reap what you sow is the old saying, right? Like whatever, speaking with the farming kind of theme still, is whatever you put into it, you get back. So that effort really pays off. And Miles was saying that's where the Lively Fall Fair happens every year. So that's a reason to go there too, right? For that particular event. So that's, let's see if there's any other news we can see here that we might have skipped over that's of note that we want to kind of recognize here. And it looks like we pretty much covered everything today. And so you have the final word, Nick, basically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
On the spot.
No, not on the spot.
Well, actually, Nick news is I'm going to go kayaking tomorrow.
Cool.
Yeah, there's some really cool areas around Sudbury to go kayaking and explore around here. We live in a really beautiful place.
Yeah.
So
you're actually doing what I think in my head all the time when I'm driving to Toronto or the Sioux or wherever, and I'm looking at the side of the road. Well, not while I'm driving too much, but I'm just noticing all of the nature. And I just think, you know what, if I just had a canoe with me right now, I'd love to just pull the car over and just get in there and just go.
Yeah.
And that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm going to go. I could fit 3 kayaks in my van. I'd love to be like a ambassador of Pacifica Chrysler, because I love my mom van.
Yeah.
And I can fit 3 kayaks inside my van.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
That is cool.
So I'm going to go do that with my girlfriend, Lynn. I don't know if she's watching. So that's going to be really beautiful. And I'm going on Thursday because tomorrow there's 40% chance of rain.
Ooh, yes.
So
right.
I'll be going on Thursday. So that's nice. And
Thursday's predicted to be totally sunny.
Exactly.
And nice.
So must be, if the weather network is telling us it's going to be nice, it must be nice.
So if you want to go kayaking with Nick, you just get a hold of her on social media, all things Nick can say, because she has one extra kayak there for you. Maybe we should have a contest and the winner gets to go kayaking with Nick for the day. And you can film the whole thing and then do a segment on the show.
That's true. I'll put it on the Nick show.
That's right.
It's funny. I wanted to start kayaking and I didn't just buy 1 kayak. I bought 3 kayaks.
I know,
right?
But you did get a good deal. So
I did. And I'm a little extra and I like to have fun with other people.
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal,
Yeah.
you know? Have fun with other people, especially during this whole lockdown. One of the things that we were able to do is explore the world, go hiking. There's some beautiful, beautiful places that you can go for hikes.
And that's the thing, sometimes you need time by yourself, but being with other people and having really healthy relationships and whatever does a lot of good to the mind, body, and soul.
It's true. And right now, there's some really heavy energies happening and a lot of people are feeling it.
True.
And that's one of the messages is just slow down and just appreciate where you are, appreciate where you've been, how far you've come. And there's just going to be some unfinished thoughts
100%
in your brain and just love who you are.
And wasn't that the most amazing final thought you could have ever heard? Nick, thanks to Nick. Appreciate that. Today's show is sponsored by the Nick Show and Sensi.
Thanks.
And Pacifica.
Yeah.
Thanks for being with us, everyone. Stay tuned now for Earshot Daily on CKLU, and we'll see you same time, same place tomorrow on all things social media and on the radio. Ciao.
Bye.
This is Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.